While they may be able to work from home, comic book creators normally count on interacting with the public to sell their work. But big comic conventions, Comic Cons as they're called, are not happening during this pandemic. Justin Chandler covers the Hamilton-Niagara region for our Ontario hubs. He joins us from Toronto to explain what creators are doing instead. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, Jan.
Now, I hear that you've attended a lot of comic conventions. Unfortunately, you won't be doing that in person this year. Can you describe what that looks like for people who aren't familiar?
Yeah, well, if anyone's ever been to something like the auto show or the boat show, it's a big space, sort of a trade show full of people who are selling things related to comic books or pop culture. But it's also got a concert element because there's people who are actually part of big writing teams or TV shows or movies, and they attend as well. So it's really just this really great space that's full of a whole bunch of people who care about the same thing. So it's sort of an experience that you can't really have anywhere else.
Now, earlier this week, the Niagara Falls Comic Convention was canceled. I want to talk about the artists. Why is it a big deal for these artists when large-scale conventions like these are canceled?
Well, a lot of comic book artists in Canada and in Ontario, they work independently because we don't have a super big publishing industry. There are some who work for American companies, but if you want to make it telling your own stories, you really have to self-publish and self-distribute in a lot of cases. And so for these artists, because it's so expensive to actually make a book, print it, and then ship it to whoever wants to buy it, conventions are a big source of their income. It's just much easier to meet people and make a connection when you can actually have them walk up to your table, buy a book from you directly, or talk to you and get your autograph. It's just much simpler. So these are actually very important to the economics of making comics.
Now, I want to bring up one of the artists you spoke to for your latest article on TBO.org, Mike Ruth. He was looking forward to the convention circuit. Tell us about his story.
Yes, so Mike Ruth, his story is a little sad. He basically, for the last 10 years, he's been making the bulk of his income from comic conventions. He said he'd go to anything he could get to on wheels, and then if he couldn't do that, he'd fly. And he would head out, go to all these conventions, sell his books. And the last few years, he'd taken it a bit easier, but 2020 was supposed to be his comeback year. And of course, we all know how 2020's gone. So he
Right.
had all sorts of books he was going to debut and things he was going to show off. And now they're sitting in a box in his business partner's house, and there's no way that he can go out and sell them. So he's trying to do what he can online, but it's difficult. There's not the same aspect, and unfortunately, it's really made things harder for him.
Now, one thing that we've been seeing in terms of a solution is taking these conventions online. We saw that in San Diego most recently. You had described kind of what the atmosphere is like for a typical Comic Con. Can the virtual experience really capture that as well?
With a virtual experience, fortunately, you can still have interaction. You can still have those big name guests. You can still have talks with writers, or even people are doing virtual sketch challenges. But you're not in the space with all those same people. So I don't think you can replicate that same energy. And I think most people would agree that there's just something about being completely immersed and surrounded that you can't get virtually as much as we would like to try.
Now, normally you'll be rubbing shoulders around this time at these Comic Cons. Do you see yourself logging in online and kind of checking these conventions out?
I could definitely see myself checking things out online. I'm interested, and I always like to hear what different writers and artists have to say and meet new people who I can talk to and whose works I can read.
Justin, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. That's Justin Chandler, Ontario Hub's journalist covering the Hamilton and Niagara region. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
The Agenda in the Summer with Nam Kiwanuka is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario, and by viewers like you. Thank you.